Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful leaf brush on your own in the app Hipaint. So I'll be giving step-by-step instruction. Don't skip the video anywhere and let's jump into my tablet. So first, I am going to open my Hipaint app and here create the canvas. It can be any size since we are just going to create a brush. So you can use any size of your wish. I'm using by default, I'll use the screen. So I'm using screen canvas size. So this is my canvas and here I'm going to tell you how to create this leaf brush. So don't skip the video anywhere because all the each minute have some valuable information how to make changes in the brush. So don't skip the video anywhere. And here first I'm going to draw a leaf using this leaf brush, which means this is not any leaf brush actually. This is like a lasso. In IBS Paintex, we have lasso tool, lasso fill tool. In this, we have as a leaf brush. So that's what it is. So here in the first layer, I'm going to draw the leaf. So you can try any different leaf you want. I'm just drawing the basic leaves with little bit of variation in the size flow of the leaf like this. Actually, okay, and I'll draw once again. If you don't feel clear, then you can first try any other brush like this for drawing the stem, and then in that you can draw the leaf. Okay, now I'm using this leaf brush. We can erase the unwatered areas using like this. Okay, I finished the leaf. So now just switch off the visibility of the background, and in this layer just increase the size of the leaf like this. Okay, now switch off the transform tool and export this as PNG. So when you click on this three dots at the last, you have the share option. There you can find the PNG option. So click on that, and once you saved, it should be available in the Hipaint section. So since this is PNG, when I click like this, it just only shows the dark background, something like that. Okay, no worries. So now just switch off the visibility of this layer. Since we have already saved this leaf, you can either delete or just switch off the visibility of this layer. If you need to make another leaf with a little bit of variation on this leaf, you can just switch off this visibility. For now, I'm just switching off the visibility of this layer and I'm going to create a new layer. Now before that, what you have to do is go to your ink brush. So this is where our main brush creation step starts. So go to your ink brush, click on the ballpoint pen, So using this brush, I'm going to create my new leaf brush. So this have so many steps, so don't skip anywhere. So now just select this ballpoint pen brush. When you select, it will be in the gray color box, whatever it may be. So just select the ballpoint pen brush, click copy this brush. Okay. So now I have copied the brush. Now go to created brush. If you already renamed, you will have something like created brush. Otherwise, you can click on any folder or any group that you have, or you can even try on the imported section. Just if you click on the three dot, you have the option called paste this brush. You can either try here. So I will put all the created brush in this section. So this folder is created by me. So I'll paste this brush here. Okay, now my brush is here. Now to avoid confusion, I'm going to rename this brush as custom leaf brush. Okay, now I have renamed. Just click on the brush. Now you have so many settings option here. First, before anything, go to shape. Here we have the round shape circle. That's why the brush looks like this. Just click on this, and here you can see I have created so many different brushes. So what you have to do is just click on the plus symbol, and you will have the option to import. So go to gallery, and in Hipaint I have this. So just select that, and if you click on this any of this option, you will get something like that. So don't mess up with this. Just select that image, then click OK. Now your leaf is available here. Click on this leaf, and once you're done, it will be here. Now you can see if I do this. Now I'll choose something like green color. Yeah. So initially my brush looks like this. So you can see it didn't look like a leaf brush at all. So go to settings, and we have to make changes one by one. So first of all, before anything, I'm going to change the angle of the brush. Just rotate this like this. Okay. Now also you don't find any difference. Then go to your general settings, increase the spacing. When you increase the space, you get the leaf like this. Now my brush look like this. We have to make so many changes, and now if you want, you can make spacing like this. Okay, now it's much better, but you can see there is an angle. So go back to your angle, adjust the angle like this. Then okay, now the angle is a little bit better. Now what we have to do, keep this flow as maximum, because when you reduce the flow, you can see the opacity get reduced. So keep that at maximum. Keep all these as it is. So this don't make much difference. So I didn't disturb that. As well as tapper, I didn't make any changes in the tapper settings. Then go back to your shape. Already we have changed the angle. Don't do anything here or here. When you increase the scatter, you'll get the brush like this. So we don't, if you are trying any single leaf brush, then you can try this scatter. Otherwise, keep this scatter at 0%. Then keep the blending mode as normal. Also in the scatter, as already we have 0%, so we don't need to worry about these both axes. Leave it. And next, here comes the important thing, rotation dynamics. So when you click on this to rotation, rotate to stroke, the leaf details moves according to your movement of the stroke. So you can find a little bit of difference here. Still we have to do more. So that's what, till shape you have to do only that thing. Next comes the texture. If you want to add any texture, you can try. So here I wish to add these textures. This is something like canvas texture, and position don't make much difference, just a little bit of difference. Do that. And if you want to add texture only here and there, you can increase the zoom option, which means it's going to zoom this texture to the maximum level. So for example, now you can see here it is like more opaque, and here you can see little bit of transparency. So when you apply texture and increase the contrast, then you can see here almost, there is only light variation, and here there are some darker leaves, there are some lighter leaves. So I want this variation for my leaf, so I'm going to keep this texture. So what I have done is just increase the contrast. Also, if you want, increase the depth, which make the leaf more watercolor like this. You can see some variations. So yeah, next, uh, that's all about the texture. So if you want to keep it as normal, you can keep that as normal. When you change the texture to normal, you get something like that. So otherwise you can keep the blending mode as multiply. So how the texture is applied to that particular leaf, that's what uh, that's how the blending mode works here. Next comes the dual brush. We don't need to worry about this. And here, pressure. So pressure settings, if you want to make thinner at beginning and end of the stroke and thicker at the middle, then you can increase the size settings here. Also, if you want to make your brush a little bit transparent at the beginning and end, and more opaque at the middle, then increase the slow value. So here you can see some, here it is lighter and here it is darker. Also here it is little bit thinner. If I increase the size value to more, then it will show more variation. Here you can see. So like that. So here I don't want to add any size variation. I am keeping this as 0. Yeah. Also flow to 0. Okay. So next, pressure curve. Don't disturb this. Leave it as it is. Next comes the tilt. So here when you increase the tilt angle, not much difference. So leave it as it is and change the tilt size. It gives some variations. Then slow gradient, don't disturb any of this. Leave it as it is. Next comes the dynamic. Dynamic is where you can add some randomness to your brush. but keeping your stroke as it is. So like I'm changing the dynamic angle, which means there is some variations here. You can see in the leaves angle. Now I increase the angle much, I'll get like this. So I'm keeping like this. Here you can see the leaf is shuffled in a little bit variation compared to this one. Also, I am going to add some dynamics in terms of size, terms of flow. When I increase the flow, there will be some leaves with less opacity, some leaves with more opacity, something like that. Then spacing, I don't going to disturb this. Hue value, if you want, you can add a little bit of 1 or 2%. So here you can see at the beginning there is a tilt. So that's all happened here. Okay, yeah. Okay, now if you want to make more dynamics in your brush, just make this size variation. You can see here some became smaller. Here you can see every leaf is of same size, and here some is of small size and some with bigger size. Then also make sure you increase in the general, increase the maximum size like this, so that you can able to use for the big canvas. Okay, now we are working on the dynamics. So next, if you want to add some variation in the color, texture position, you can try. If you want to make your brush more colorful like this with multicolor, you can go for this hue. When you increase this hue value, you're going to change a single color brush to multicolor brush. So that's all about the setting of this. Done. Now I'm going to hide this brush. I'm in layer. I'm going to create a new layer and I'm going to show you my brush. You can see there is so much variation in the angle, color, thickness, and all those things. I'm also trying with some other color. So this is how you can create your own brush in the app Hipaint. And if you like this tutorial, subscribe to my channel and share with your friends. Thank you for watching.